Hey everybody, this is Red from Basis 365 Accounting. In last week's clip, we talked about the when of accounting. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what. Accountants do many things for a business, and many people don't know exactly what those things should be. The most common understanding of what an accountant does is record transactions from bank or credit card statements and generate an income statement. That's a fair summary of what a bookkeeper may do for a very small business that's only producing financial statements for tax purposes. Some basic accruals will be performed, but not all. For a business looking to grow, accrual accounting is critical, especially as the nature of transactions get more complex. Interpreting financial information and looking at the future financial health of the business is far outside a general bookkeeper's skill set. When you're looking for an accounting partner that's going to be your new accounting department, they should have a team of people who have a complete understanding of the accounting concepts, usually obtained through a degree in accounting, and experience to be able to translate those results into actionable items for the business owner. What does an accounting department actually do? An accounting department should do consistently all of the following things. The first thing that your accounting department will do will be coding and reconciling transactions. It's typically coming in on a bank feed, bank credit card feeds, PayPal, Stripe, those types of feeds, and coding those to the appropriate expense accounts or accruing them on the balance sheet as needed. Next thing is sales invoicing or your accounts receivable. Your accounting partner could send those invoices, do follow-up for late invoices, those types of things, or if you're going to handle that yourself, your accounting partner will reconcile those deposits against the applicable invoices. On a similar note, your accounts payable or your bill payment, your accounting department will bring in those invoices in as AP, tell you which ones need to be paid, maybe using a tool like bill.com, and helping you execute on the bill payment, or you may want to pay it yourself through your own online bank. Then the accounting partner will take those payments coming through on the bank feed and either match those to invoices or code them straight to the expense account. Record keeping is often overlooked. Accountants are responsible for the books and records of the business or your accounting department. So the records are the receipts, the contracts, all of the things that are used to maintain those numbers, and if somebody's looking, we're going to need to provide those, and so your accounting department should be handling that for you. On a similar note, tracking schedules, things related to accruals, GL details that accountants typically keep or your accounting department need to be maintained, and again, those support those numbers, so if you're being audited or somebody's doing due diligence, they'll want or request those types of schedules that most people never even keep. Your accounting department can also help with payroll. They could run the payroll themselves. Usually somebody on your team will approve the time before it's run or approve what has been inputted before it's run, or you may run it. In either case, the accounting partner will take the payroll data and then process it through the appropriate month-end accruals, allocate it to cost of goods sold, OpEx, do any other accruals needed or allocation for management purposes. Another thing they'll handle are your month-end close. So producing those financial statements at month-end is a pretty involved process. It's not just we've coded everything, let me run it. You have to do a lot of month-end accruals, update schedules, do some reasonableness testing to make sure things look correct, and reconcile to all of the feeds and bank statements and everything so that 1 month is now complete. And so they should have a very detailed process on what they go through for a month-end accrual or month-end close process. Documenting procedures is another thing that we often see, well, almost always never see a company have. So aside from doing the work, you need to document what's being done and who's supposed to do it, so that way somebody can step in if needed. So in many cases, an accountant leaves a company, everything they did is in their head. They've got 2 weeks to download it to nobody because you can't hire that fast. And it's a challenge for any business, which is why outsourcing is nice, because you've got a team supporting you. But documenting those procedures is key, even for companies like ours, where somebody might have to step in when somebody is out and be able to pick up where they left off. And so your accounting partner needs to be able to have detailed documentation on what's being done so that it's not taken for granted. And in the future, you're in the same situation if you leave that accounting partner where everything was in their head. Another important thing with an accounting partner is the collaboration in real time with them. So is it somebody you're going to want to work with? Are they going to be friendly working with you? And are you both going to be engaged in the work being done? So you don't necessarily want a vendor relationship where that accounting partner is waits a week before they respond, feel like you're inconveniencing them by asking questions. You want somebody who's really going to be responsive, and we find often that the more responsive our customer is to us and vice versa, the happier everybody is, because you don't feel like you're talking to a wall or somebody who's disinterested. So look for an accounting partner who's going to be collaborative in the day-to-day, week-to-week things that come up with an accounting department and with the business owner's needs. The other two items are more now on the reporting side, so budgeting, forecasting. So as your business is continuing to grow, you'll want them to play a part in budgeting, forecasting, whether they run it and create the models, or at least providing feedback based on the data that we're seeing day in and day out. You want somebody who will collaborate with you in preparing that information, because that's important for any business that's going to grow. You might be able to get to $1 million without something like that, but once you hit 5, 10 million, now you need to start really trying to anticipate the future and then comparing your performance against it. And on that note, tracking and measuring. So developing KPIs, whether they're historical KPIs or predictive KPIs. What are the things you should be looking at, the metrics in your financial information? You don't need 20 or 30, it should be 3, maybe 5. So your accounting department should help you work with what those should be, and then obviously provide a solution where you can see the results over time trending or the calculations, and then figure out what do they mean and what are the action items to improve them. So hopefully that's helpful in understanding what an accounting department does, and when you are trying to find somebody to solve that for you, become your accounting partner to do that, those are the things you want to run down and see how do they do it and if they're going to be a great fit for you. Thanks.